In recent days, Russian occupation forces have sharply increased the number of clashes in the Pokrovsk direction, but the main information being published, both by Russian public channels and, accordingly, by Western media reports about the alleged tactical and operational encirclement of the Ukrainian group in Pokrovsk and in the Myrnarad area, does not correspond to reality. At the moment, the most intense fighting in Pokrovsk continues in the industrial zone. This is the area around the meat processing plant and the feed mill. It should be noted that in the area of responsibility of the 7th Air Assault Corps, about 250 Russian occupiers have been eliminated in just the past week. There is a similar number of wounded. I want to draw attention to the number of destroyed vehicles and motorcycles, more than 30 units. This clearly shows that the occupiers are trying to use vehicles and motorcycles to break through the so-called drone wall. In other words, the kill zones that Ukraine's defense forces used to hold back further advances by the Russian occupiers. At the moment, the occupiers are trying to expand their presence in the area of the so-called high-rise buildings. In other words, they're trying to use the high-rise sector as commanding heights to establish fire control over the positions of Ukraine's defense forces. By order of the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, Syrsky, additional operational reserves have been deployed to the Pokrovsk direction, including special units from the main intelligence directorate of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine, Special Operations Forces, and other components of Ukraine's defense forces. Our special forces have largely succeeded in unblocking the logistics of the armed forces of Ukraine and have not allowed the occupiers to close the encirclement ring in the Pokrovsk area.